Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting, to kind of look at the Oklahoma game because, it's tough to judge Oklahoma. They didn't look good against Tulane. Their offense, laid off the gas. Their defense looked terrible, and now they got a little cupcake game today where they're up 23-0 right now at the end of the first quarter. So against Western Carolina. So the thing is you don't really get to know much about Oklahoma besides one game that they didn't play good. And then the Huskers have plenty more games on where they've looked good, they've looked bad. So I think Oklahoma has the advantage in that aspect. But I really don't know because Oklahoma is still Oklahoma. I think they have one of the better defensive coordinators in college football in Alex Grinch. They have a great offensive mind. He's got to be one of the best in college football in Lincoln Riley. They have a top 5 pick in the NFL draft at quarterback. They've got weapons on the outside. They've got a good running back in Kennedy Brooks. So they have so much talent. That's why it's hard to kind of figure out right now. And I think that's going to be the hardest thing for people to predict this week when they look at this game because you've seen the good and the bad from both. So I think it's kind of hard to predict this game. I'm sure there's going to be predictions everywhere. There's going to be Husker fans that are all hyped up saying Oklahoma's overrated and that Nebraska's going to win. And then there's going to be those people that are going to say, Oklahoma's going to win by 24, 30. So I don't know what to predict. I actually don't have one. I'm with you. I really don't know. It's going to take turnovers. I mean, turnovers are going to be the key. That's what Oklahoma did against Tulane, and that's why Tulane came back.
Yeah. I was going to ask you who they're playing today. I saw it flash up on my screen here, but I saw that they were up. But I mean, yeah, they played Tulane. So they played Tulane. They won by 5 against Tulane, and now they're playing some random today, right? So Nebraska has 3 games under their belt, and they can build off those 3 games. They can watch the film from study what Tulane did and try to exploit that defense any way you can. Just get some points on the board and hang in there. Spencer Rattler is he's extremely good, so he's going to make plays, and you have to know he's going to make plays, but it's going to be about weathering the storm with him, and maybe creating a turnover here and there and making the most of it.
Yeah, and I think the thing about Spencer Rattler, the more I watch him, he's kind of the guy that is going to, when he's on, I don't think you can beat Oklahoma. And that's the concern. I don't think you can beat them when he's on. But he makes mistakes. He is a gunslinger type of quarterback that is going to sling it in there and throw his picks. But if he's on, he's on. And it's really hard to beat Oklahoma in that respect. But, watching the Tulane game, I didn't think they ran the ball well, hardly at all in that game. Averaged, I think, 3 yards a carry. But they were able to find things in the pass game. They protected really well. Oklahoma had no pass rush. It was like watching Ohio State today. No pass rush at all. And when the quarterback gets to sit back there forever, you're going to be able to pick apart defenses. So if Martinez has that time, I think there's holes in the Oklahoma defense. But, it's hard to sit here and say that that's going to happen again because, they got their film. They know what to do. And they have the talent on that front line as well.
Yeah. Yeah, the offense is going to have to find ways and pull out everything that they can to score points. Defensively for Nebraska, I think you kind of sell out on making Rattler beat you with your arm and putting it on the secondary, putting it on Williams and putting it on Cam Taylor and those guys to lock guys up. Maybe even just put a spy on Rattler and just say, hey, if you can beat us with your arm, great. But the last thing I want to see is him getting out of the pocket and rumbling, 40 yards every now and then. So if they can find a way to make him beat him with the arm and maybe create a couple of, sacks, turnovers, interceptions, then I think he can hang in there.
Yeah, I think Rattler's the type of guy too. He really doesn't like to take off. He likes to make those throws. He wants to, he thinks he's the prototypical NFL type of talent. So he likes to make throws, but he does hold on to the ball a little bit too long and it's a little bit loose sometimes. So, you can get hands in there, get strip sacks. There's a lot of possibilities, I think, in this game for the Huskers. But I think I totally agree with you. Nebraska has a very, very experienced secondary. And I think you're just going to have to put it on them because if you sit there and say we're going to sell out to try to stop Rattler First of all, I think that's a dumb plan because it's hard to sit there and stop a guy who's a top 5 pick. But then you're just going to leave holes up the middle, and they're just going to run, shut down one part, make them beat you at the other. It's what Tulane did in the second half. They basically said Rattler's going to make some dumb throws. We're going to force him into it. And they shut down the run, and Rattler made some dumb throws, and that's why they came back. But if that defense plays with the passion they played with today for a full 60 minutes, I think they got a chance to hold Oklahoma in check because that was impressive today. They came out with that fire that I expect from them, and it was really fun to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, the defense, I mean, just to be able to hold them to 3 points and continuing to have that energy deep into series and drives, even when you give up a third down here and there, that was good to see.